Hello guys, welcome to Copybook IS. Hope your preparation is going well. And in this um, session, we are going to discuss from question number 71 to 100. So let's see the prelims GS paper 1. 71 number question. I have discussed the earlier questions in the earlier parts, so you can watch those videos. So 71 question, consider the following statements. Statement 1, India, despite having uranium deposits, depends on coal for most of its electricity production. And second statement, uranium enriched to the extent of at least 60% is required for the production of electricity. So the answer to this question is statement 1 is correct. We all know that India has still not been able to switch to its energy needs and to green energy, and most of the production is from coal powered thermal power plants, so it depends on coal. And the second one, uranium enriched to extent of at least 60%. No, uranium does not need to be enriched to 60%. Very less enrichment is also possible, like 8, 10 or 12% if it is enriched, then or 3 or 4 or 5% enriched also, then also it can be used for production of electricity. So statement 2 is not correct. So the answer is 71C. Statement 1 is correct and the statement 2 is not correct, incorrect. So now let's move on to question number 72. Consider the following statements. So in case of this statement 1, in marsupials are not naturally found in India. Marsupials can thrive only in montane grasslands with no predators. So the answer to this question is marsupials are not naturally found in India. Yes, marsupials are not naturally found in India. So marsupials are mammals like kangaroos, and then some of the rodents which live in burrows. All those are marsupials, or the flying squirrel. These type of mammals are known as marsupials. So they are not naturally found in India. Like kangaroos, all those are not naturally found in India. Kangaroos are found in Australia, and then marsupials can thrive only in mountain grasslands with no predators. So no, the marsupials don't need mountain grasslands. They can thrive in grasslands also and forests also, and if there are predators also, then also they can thrive. So statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. So the answer is C. So now let's move on to the next question, 73rd. Invasive species specialist group that develops global invasive species database belongs to one of the following organization: the International Union for Conservation of Nature, the United Nations Environment Programme, the United Nations World Commission for Environment and Development, the Worldwide Fund for Nature. So invasive species specialist group. So in case of this, the answer is this is a direct question. So if you know this question, if you know the answer, then it is correct. Otherwise you will have to leave this question. So invasive species specialist group that develops global invasive species database belongs to which one of the following organizations? So the answer is A, the International Union for Conservation of Nature. So we all know that IUCN also like makes other lists. Yes, so other lists of organisms, so it also makes invasive species specialist group also. But if you know this question, you know it, otherwise you have to leave it. So this is all for question number 73. Then consider the following fauna. Question 74, lion-tailed macaque, Malabar civet, sambar deer. How many of the above are generally nocturnal or most active after sunset? So lion-tailed macaque is not active after sunset. Malabar civet is not. Lion-tailed macaque, Malabar civet is active after sunset only, that is, it is nocturnal. And sambar deer is not active after sunset because it is a day animal, and it always eats grass or travels during the day, and it sleeps during the night, sambar deer. So it is not nocturnal. Lion-tailed macaque is sometimes it is found in day also, and it is found in night also. So it is like it does things in the night also. So like lion-tailed macaque is also nocturnal. So the answer will be 74B, only two, lion-tailed macaque and Malabar civet. Then 75th, which one of the following organisms perform waggle dance for other of their kin to indicate the direction and the distance to a source of their food? So the answer to this is honeybees. Honeybees do waggle dance for others to indicate the direction and the distance to a source of their food. So they do waggle dance. You have to write in comments what waggle dance is and how do they indicate the direction. So this is all about honeybees. Then we'll move on to Question number 76. Consider the following statements. Some mushrooms have medicinal properties, some mushrooms have psychoactive properties, some mushrooms have insecticidal properties, and some mushrooms have bioluminescent properties. So the answer to this question is D, that is all four. So as we know, some mushrooms have medicinal properties. They are used for treatment of skin diseases or other diseases also. And so they have medicinal properties. They are used in medicine. They are used in sometimes they are used in our medicines also. Then some new mushrooms have psychoactive properties. Yes, they have psychoactive properties. Some of them are poisonous also, so we should not eat those mushrooms. Then some mushrooms have insecticidal properties. Yes, they have insecticidal properties. Insects stay away from them, so it protects them from insects and other animals so that they don't eat them. And then some mushrooms have bioluminescent properties, that is they glow during night. So yes, they have bioluminescent properties. So the answer is D, all four. Then we'll move on to question 77. Consider the following statements regarding the Indian squirrels. So they build nests by making burrows in the ground. They store their food material like nuts and seeds in the ground, and they are omnivorous. So yes, all the three statements are correct. They build nests by making burrows in the ground. Sometimes during the winter season especially, they will build nests by making burrows in the ground, and they store their food materials like nuts and seeds in the ground. So yes, they store their food materials like nuts and seeds in the ground, and then they are omnivorous. Yes, they are omnivorous. So all the three are correct. The answer will be 77C. 78. Consider the following statement. Some microorganisms can grow in an environment with temperature above the boiling point of water. Some microorganisms can grow in an environment with temperature below the freezing point of water. Some microorganisms can grow in highly acidic environment with a pH below 3. So the answer to this question is 78C, all three. Yes, some of the microorganisms are there which are present on earth, which can live above the boiling point of water. Earlier the temperature of earth was very hot, but the microorganisms still existed. Then there are some microorganisms found in Antarctic and Arctic which live below the freezing point, and some microorganisms can grow in highly acidic environment with pH below 3. Yes, all three are correct. Which one of the following, but you have to, in the comments you have to write the examples of these organisms. Okay. Then 79th, which one of the following makes a tool with a stick to scrape insects from a hole in a tree or a log of wood? So the answer to this is orangutan. It has very much similarities with human. So it uses its brain to use a stick to scrape insects from a hole in tree or a log of wood, and then it eats them. So fishing cat does not do that, otter does not do that, sloth bear does not do that, but it is done by orangutan. Then consider the following. 80 question. Aerosols, foam agents, fire retardants, lubricants. In the making of how many of the above are hydrocarbons are used? So the answer is D. In all the four hydrocarbons are used, in aerosols also, in foaming agents also, in fire retardants also, and in lubricants also. So most of us know about aerosols, foam agents, and fire retardants because they are gaseous in nature, but almost gaseous in nature. But lubricants most of us don't know, but lubricants also hydrofluorocarbons are used. So you have all the four. 80D answer, and the answer of 80 is D. So you can you can search, or you can look into your book like in which form the hydrofluorocarbons are used in these agents, like in these things. Then again with 81 question, in which of the following regions was Dhanya Kataka, which flourished as a prominent Buddhist center under the Mahasanghikas located? So the answer to 81 is A, that is Andhra region. So Andhra Pradesh is the answer. Dhanya Kataka, which flourished as a prominent Buddhist center under Mahasanghikas located. It was near Amravati. Dhanya Kataka was near Amravati, which is in Andhra Pradesh. In which one of the following regions was Dhanya Kataka, which flourished as a prominent Buddhist center? It was a prominent Buddhist center in the Mahasanghika located. Yes, and Mahasanghika is a big association of Buddhists. So there were many places like Taxila and all those places. So in Dhanyakataka near Amravati was also there. With reference to ancient India, consider the following statements. The concept of stupa is Buddhist in origin. Stupa was generally a repository of relics. Stupa was a votive and commemorative structure in Buddhist tradition. So the answer to 82 is only two statements are correct. So the concept of stupa is Buddhist in origin. No, it is not Buddhist in origin. The stupa was made much before Buddhism, and in earlier times also stupa was made, so it is older than Buddhist origin. So this statement is correct. Stupa was generally a repository of relics. This statement is correct. First statement is wrong, second statement is correct. Stupa was a votive and commemorative structure in Buddhist tradition. This statement is also correct. It was a commemorative structure. Then 83rd, with reference to ancient South India, Korkai, Pampuhar and Muchiri were well known as. So these state cities were well known as port cities. So you have to look at the location of major port cities in the ancient times in South India. So just look at these capital cities also, port cities also, centers of iron and steel making also, and shrines of Jain Tirthankars also. So you will get to know these cities. Then 84th question, which one of the following explains the practice of Vata Kirutal as mentioned in Sangam poems? So in case of this question, you have to read the history of Sangam period, and Vata Kirutal was mainly a king defeated in a battle, committing ritual suicide by starving himself to death. So the option is D, and this is what Vata Kirutal was. So you have to read the history of Sangam period and find out Vata Kirutal and also other important terms in that history. Then question number 85, consider the following dynasties: Hoysala, Gandhavala, Kakatiya, Yadava. How many of the above dynasties established their kingdoms in early 8th century AD? So in case of this, you have to again read the ancient history, and the answer to this question is none of the dynasties were established their kingdoms in early 8th century. Most of these dynasties were after the 8th century. So you have to read the ancient history, then you will get to know these dynasties, and some of these dynasties are also present in the medieval history. Then with reference to ancient Indian history, consider the following pairs: literary work Devi Chandragupta, Hamira Mahakavya, Milind Panha, Niti Vakyamrita. So the literary works are given, author is given. So the in 86th question, the only two are correct matched. So that is Devi Chandragupta is not correct match. Milind Panha was written by Nagarjuna, and then so you have to find this answer. This is a very difficult question. You have to read the ancient history and literary works there, and you have to find the answer. So the answer to 86 is B, that is two of them are matched, correct. Then 87, souls are not only the property of animal and plant life but also of rocks, running water and many other natural objects not looked on as living by other religious sects. The above statement reflects one of the core beliefs of which one of the following religious sects of ancient India. So it represents the thoughts of Jainism, beliefs of Jainism. So this is the correct answer, that is 87, option number B. So you have to read Jainism, ancient history, Jainism, and then you will find these lines there, the thoughts of Jainism. So now 88th question, who among the following rulers of Vijayanagar Empire constructed a large dam across Tungabhadra river and a canal aqueduct several kilometers long from the river to the capital city? So in case of question number 88, the answer is A, Devraya I. This is a difficult question from the ancient. This is a difficult question from Vijayanagar Empire. In the ancient history, we will have to read about the Vijayanagar Empire. Otherwise, we will have to leave this question. Who among the following rulers of medieval Gujarat surrendered due to Portuguese? So this is given in the Spectrum book, and the answer is 89th D, 89th C. That is Bahadur Shah. So you will read when the Portuguese came, how they helped Bahadur Shah, and then again they protected him from the Mughal emperor, and again after the Mughal emperor went, the Portuguese killed him. The Bahadur Shah was killed by the Portuguese. So 89 C, Bahadur Shah. Now 90. By which one of the following acts was the Governor General of Bengal designated as the Governor General of India? Okay. So the Charter Act of 1833. So this is in the Spectrum book also, and the Lakshmikant book also. So you have to read it thoroughly, and you will find the answer. The Charter Act of 1833, Governor General of Bengal was as the designated as the Governor General of India. In essence, what does due process of law mean? The principle of natural justice, the procedure established by law, fair application of law, equality before the law. So in case of this, the answer is C, fair application of law. Not the procedure established by law, not the principle of natural justice, not equality before law, fair application of law. Consider the following statements. Statement 1. In India, prisons are managed by state governments with their own rules and regulations of the day-to-day administration of prisons. Yes, prisons are managed by the state governments. And in India, prisons are governed by the Prisons Act 1894, which expressly kept the subject of prison in the control of provincial governments. So the answer to 92 question is A. Both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct, and statement 2 is the correct explanation of statement 1, because Prisons Act was given to us by the Britishers, passed by the Britishers, and still now it is going on in our country. Which one of the, for some changes have been made, but the act is the same of the 1894. Which one of the following statements best reflects this question is in news because it was, this question is in the UPSC because it was in news because some changes have been made to the Prisons Act. Which one of the following statements best reflects the chief purpose of the constitution of a country? Chief purpose. It determines the objective for making necessary laws. It enables the creation of political offices and government. It defines and limits the powers of government. It secures social justice, social equality, and social security. So the answer to this question is it defines and limits the powers of the government, and this is the only answer because it is the chief purpose of constitution of our country. It defines and limits the powers of government, because the power of the constitution is given to the government by the people of India. So this is, it defines and limits the powers of the government. Then in question number 94, in India, which one of the following constitutional amendments was widely believed to be enacted to overcome the judicial interpretation of the fundamental rights? So this is a very difficult question. The answer to this is First Amendment. So First Amendment was done to just was enacted to overcome the judicial interpretations of fundamental rights. So you can search about it, and then you will find it. Consider the following organization bodies in India: National Commission for Backward Classes, National Human Rights Commission, National Law Commission, National Consumer Dispute Resolution, Redressal Commission. How many of the above are constitutional bodies? So the answer to this one is A. Only one, that is National Commission for Backward Classes is a constitutional body, and the others are non-constitutional bodies. So that is it. Consider the following statements. If the election of the President of India is declared void by the Supreme Court of India, all acts done by him or in the performance of duties of his or office of President become the date before the date of decision becomes invalid. No, this is a wrong statement. Election for the post of the President of India can be postponed on the ground that some legislative assemblies have been dissolved and elections are yet to take place. Then third statement is, when a bill is presented to the President of India, the Constitution prescribes time limits within which she has to declare his or her assent. No, this is also wrong. Second statement is also wrong. So 96, how many of the above statements are correct? None of the above statements are correct. The answer is D. Then again in 97th question, with reference to finance bill and money bill in Indian Parliament, consider the following statements. So when the Lok Sabha transmits finance bill to the Rajya Sabha, it can amend or reject the bill. When the Lok Sabha transmits money bill to the Rajya Sabha, it can amend or reject the bill. It can only make recommendations. So the answer to this statement is only two statements are correct. In the case of disagreement between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, there is no joint sitting for money bill, but a joint sitting becomes necessary for the finance bill. So the first statement is correct, the second statement is not correct, and the third statement is also correct. So the answer to this question is D. Only two. So first statement is correct, second statement is not correct, and third statement is also correct. 98. Consider the following statements. When the central government notifies an area as a community reserve, the chief wildlife warden of the state becomes the governing authority of such forests. Once the central government notifies an area as a community reserve, the chief wildlife warden of the state becomes the governing authority of such forest. Hunting is not allowed in such area. People of such area are allowed to collect non-timber forest produce. People of such area are allowed traditional agricultural practices. So, how many of the above statements are correct? So the answer to this question is B. Only 2 statements are correct. That is the first statement and the second statement. Third and fourth statement are not correct. People are for third and fourth statement are not correct. So first statement is correct and the second statement is correct. 98. The answer is B. Only 2 statements are correct. Question number 99. With reference to scheduled areas in India, consider the following statements. Within a state, the notification of area as a scheduled area takes place through an order of the president. Largest administrative unit forming the scheduled area is the district, and the lowest is the cluster of villages in the block. Chief Minister of the concerned state are required to submit annual reports to the Union Home Ministry on the administration of scheduled areas in the state. So the answer to this is B. Only 2 statements are correct. That is the first statement and the third statement are correct. Then 100 question. Consider the following statement. Statement 1. This is a very confusing question. Question number 99. I will let this be there and you have to find the answer. So I will tell you that 2 statements are correct, but you will have to write in comments which 2 are correct. So consider the following statement. Statement 1. The Supreme Court of India has held in some judgments that the reservation policies made under India would be limited by Article 335 for maintenance of efficiency of administration. And Article 335 of the Constitution of India defines the term efficiency of administration. So let's look at it. 100. C. Both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct, and statement 2 is the correct. 100. Statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is not correct. So first statement is correct and statement 2, Article 335 of the Constitution of India defines the term efficiency of, and this is not correct. So we have discussed the whole question paper, and I have just left one answer, that is question number 99. You have to find the answer to this question because this is very confusing question. Then we'll hope you guys are doing well and hope you found this video informational. I'll see you in the next video.